Alright guys, it's been a while. Let's do a 15 plus 10. I'm rated 1557 and we have the black pieces against vs. 51 from Armenia, rated 1614. Okay, I like the Armenian flag. It's gentle. I might like Mongolia as well. Okay, so we have a King's Gambit. I'm going to play my c6 line. They will usually bring the knight out to there. We play d5. If they take, we advance with tempo against the knight. And this is why I play this line, because it's this pawn advance is a typical theme in the Vienna Gambit with the white pieces, but also then with the Freddy Krueger repertoire that I play. Okay, we have knight in now. Now I don't know what to do. So now we have to improvise. So this is horrible. I think I learned that the other day because it invites queen h5 check. We can try and remove the knight here. Right now I'm not worried about this, although the queen, if she does come out, will be looking at f7 still. So we might need a response to that. Is queen f6 playable? I'm looking at this pawn that's presently undefended. Or even just bishop e6 defends the pawn. Does develop. I can then bring my knight out behind it, try and trade it off. Maybe that's the way to go. Also, simply knight f6 would prevent the queen from coming out, and that looks like a very decent move. I think that's probably the way to go. But we will check that at the end. So I know my opponent won't have seen this move very often either, so he'll be probably out of his comfort zone. vs. 51. Okay. Now if we do there, takes, my knight's under attack, or knight bd7. Try and because this knight can't go there or there. He could return to here. In fact, he can't go to g4 because I've got double eyes on g4. So I'm kind of liking this idea. Bishop out to d6 as well is a thought. That then allows a quick castles. I think trading it for... See, my knight's quite poor because I have this pawn on c6. So I think if I can remove him, if knight takes, bishop takes, or queen takes, there's a couple of options there. Probably bishop, because the queen already has a nice diagonal out into the board here. That's also a castle preventing position for the queen. So if knight takes, I think bishop takes. Generally minor pieces before major pieces. If he takes this pawn, okay. So if I take here, he's going to recapture with the f pawn towards the center. It will then also mean that my knight is hit, so my knight will need to move. And my knight now can't go there, because the bishop doesn't even defend it, and it'll be attacked twice anyway. If I take, bang, that might work. Now I'm attacking the pawns. What are you going to do? You're going to push d4? I could then take here. I'd expect d4 to follow. No. Okay, so do I take now, or do I push on? If I push d4, we're kind of behind in development, right? I've only got one piece out on the board. My opponent has an open f-file, semi-open f-file. They have free reign for their bishops. So this is looking very good for white right now. But this would be quite a constraining move. It stops the knight coming out to c3. It also kind of traps this bishop behind its own wall of pawns. And it makes it very hard for white to defend this extra pawn that he has. But it is slow at the same time. I have a check, but that then would invoke d4. If I take and d4, this pawn's undefended. I have to bring the knight back. Queen has a couple of squares there. Take and d4. If I take d4, knight back here, it's not bad. Then if he takes, I really ought to be prioritising castling as well though. Don't want to bring my bishop out there though, because d4 is a pure tempo move. Bishop e7 and castles. Am I worried about this? So bishop e7 takes here. Now I'm taking a long time over this, but okay, I'm going to take the pawn. I don't think knight g6 is bad. Takes, I've got, oh, he's pushed on. Interesting. All right, now we have a closed d-file. Material is equal. I am somewhat behind in development. This bishop can come out here. This bishop maybe to e7 and castles. I'm not worried about this pawn coming up. I think bishop e7 castles makes sense. Maybe try and prove the point that my opponent's centre is maybe slightly overextended, but he's got c3 with a pretty nice dark squared structure. We both have the bishop pair, so I'd say white is slightly better already. Okay, so he's brought his knight out to d2 rather than c3. Well, he can't get there and he can't get there. Is this his idea? Yeah, I'm going to castle. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so he's put his knight into the... I think what he's maybe thinking about is defending h2, not sure. Or he might want to take this out. Okay, so I'm kind of inclined to play this. Oh, he's also defending this pawn, second time. Bishop here. It's kind of a waiting move, but let's just solidify. My obvious pawn break is really c5. Maybe b6, e5. We do have a slightly closed centre now, but my opponent has more space on his side of the board, you see. Another pawn break is f6. f6 takes, bishop takes, or even rook takes. That could even be played now. So let's think about how would we kind of... What would be the idea to follow up? So this bishop now really has to come up here somewhere, doesn't it? And these squares are out, so he's going to come to one of these two, really. Obviously not there right now. So bishop here. It's possible. f6 or even f5. I'm going to go for the immediate f5 and try and restrict his space, but then he's got one chance to capture en passant. Question is, do I need to do anything else with my queen or rook before that? Or is the c5 break preferable? If he takes here, I take with check. So he's not going to take, I think, but if I take c takes, we then have simply opened up more space on the queen side. I don't really see any... So I'm inclined to go for f6 or f5, and I'm not sure which one. The question is, would I want to push f4? Or, do I want a pawn on f5? Or f4. Let's go f5. I'm kind of liking the idea of a pawn on f4, just cramping him down a bit here. Okay, he's going for the queenside play. I can just head that one off. All right. I'm going to push f4. It's attacked once, defended twice. Okay, closed A file. Recapture there. This is just kind of an instinctive move. Might think about doubling up my rooks on the F file, but this pawn's kind of in the way a bit. I don't really. This is quite a closed kind of game in feel, so I don't really see any massive attacking opportunities at this point in time. King H1. What would Danya do? I don't know. Could go in there with my knight. Takes, I have bishop takes. It's a thought. So we have ourselves a bit of a positional game here. Let's now attack twice. Did I just do that? Yes, because after his knight moved. Yes, indeed. Okay. Okay, my bishop's now under attack. I could take the rook. Bishop takes. So I've lost a pawn, but it's the f pawn. He now has a bit of a passed pawn on e5, which is currently protected. I take bishop takes, rook f8, or here he takes, I recapture, I lose my bishop. So I'm going to trade, I think, here. Okay, so I'm a pawn down, and this is the pawn. So that worked out all right for white. This is not the kind of game where I tend to feel in my element. So this whole queen side, for now, is kind of closed, but it is also volatile. Either of these pawns could be pushed, resulting in a flurry of trades, really opening up the board. Okay, he's closed the door there. Let's bring the bishop back. And of course, this pawn isn't going anywhere right now. I've got my bishop and queen, and he's only really got a bishop and queen that can also operate on those light squares. Okay, what's the point of this move? No, don't get it. Okay. Just killing time. I don't know what to do. It's a bit like I'm playing 5-minute blitz with no increment here. I'm just trying to burn my opponent's clock, but that's a bit pointless because he's on 14.5 minutes still. Okay. Might do that. Already starting to think about playing for a draw, but don't really know how. Could put my queen there as well. Just really block everything off. Let's try and think about these pawn breaks. If he takes, I take. If my queen's here, we're secure. If he pushes, I can take away from the centre maybe. Then we've got double attention there. I think the key thing for me is just blocking this e-pawn. Don't see much else going on. He wants to do this, eh? I can just... And also, for my opponent being a King's Gambit player, he's not going to be... not likely to be that super impressed. I think I'm going to offer a draw, actually. I'm going to offer a draw and see what he thinks, because... this is a bit boring. No, okay, it's declined. That's fair enough. Alright, I can lodge my bishop in there if I wish. Could be interesting. Can also go here, pinning the bishop. Takes. Now I've got a slightly offside pawn there and no light square bishop to defend it, but I could put my queen here. The threat of that. Takes, takes, takes. Queen d5. I'm going to go for it. Also, notice that this bishop here is now pinned. It is defended by the queen, but it is also pinned. Okay, I've got the. I mean, that's a cheapo. I mean, he's not going to go for that, of course. But now I have a passed pawn, right? But he can attack it twice, can't he now? Yeah, that was silly. Oh, but hang on. After queen takes, no. Oh, okay, interesting. There, queen takes rook. I push with check. He wants to do this, does he? G5 takes, nope. H6. He does this. Just chases my queen away, and then he just wants to capture the pawn. I could play my queen here already. I think his rook has to come back, doesn't it? Oh no, he just moves his bishop. Yeah, not particularly well played this game, I'm afraid, guys. He can't take that because I win the bishop. Now I do this, his bishop can't move and can't give check. His bishop's now pinned because the rook is undefended on f1. So yeah, with this defensive move here, what he's done is he's pinned his own bishop. The bishop wasn't in a pin before. Okay. Now, if you trade everything off, he's got 2 extra pawns, but I have a bishop. Admittedly, okay, so here, what do we do? We have to come after the opponent. However, this... Let's go behind enemy lines to here or here. He captures. We can trade off. I mean, my king isn't exactly safe, and we have this passed pawn on e5. I could try and force the queens off the board. Queen can go there. If queen takes. Yeah, there's a feeling that that's okay. So, I mean, that was just a little tactical opportunity there that I spotted, and my opponent didn't. But this is by no means a winning position for black. Also, a solo bishop at the end of the game. If my opponent can keep all his pawns in this structure, which makes it very hard for unless I can start to chip away from the back and win the most backwards pawn, it's a tricky ask, right? He's also got this protected passed pawn. He's also got an advantage on G and H with 2 on 1. So I definitely have my work cut out. Okay, there we go. Now this pawn is kind of safe, but his king can't go to there or there. Right, so, I mean, is he going to come... Oh, he can't go there either, because of this pawn. That's interesting. So I'm thinking my bishop comes in here and secures that pawn, right? Also currently protects that. Then this pawn I don't have to worry about. This is a passed pawn, this is a key pawn, and this is a key pawn. I've got feeling like my king needs to come to e6. And I can't do this now because it drops the pawn, right? So here, his king can't step on any of these squares right now. Okay, now I can come up here. He can't go there, and he can't go here or here. So where are you going, kingy? So he's got a couple of pawn breaks. So, there we go, here comes one. If he takes, I take. Happy with that. Do I want to take with a rook? Do I want to take with a king? Takes, rook takes, that pins this pawn. I think that's okay. Or is he going to try and push through? He can't go much further than that. I can push h6, I can always burn a move with h6, then if g5 I just take. There I just take. So we're kind of okay on... You kind of have to organise the board by files. Okay, there we go. Right. But still. Okay, so remember his king still can't step on any of these squares. Or here. So his king can't get through right now. Okay, if I take, I lose that one. If I let him push on, if I do this, I think that's okay. It's nice to have this construction here too, so I don't have to worry about the bishop for now. In backache from this position. Okay. Do I need to capture here? Takes. I think we're kind of okay. I mean, my rook's kind of got the back rank. My king's also there in time. Takes. Takes. Not really necessary. I think pawn takes is kind of compulsory. Then the king here, and how does he save his pawn? I really don't know. So I'm now threatening that. If this moves, I kill it as well. And my bishop and pawn fix is really providing a block for this rook. It's got to go the long way around. Also, his king is relatively immobile as well. So how do you save that? I'm not sure. You want to come to here? I can always just lift my rook. I think I have to take the pawn though, don't I? Have to take the pawn. He's going to come here. No? What? Okay, this is my only real concern now. Okay, so he's planning on pushing this. Go here, pushes, takes, rook takes. This pawn hangs. But I've just got rook, or rook, just rook c7. Rook c7 at any point. Play it now, doesn't really matter. This pawn really can't move. I feel like I need to push up now and really press with Freddie here. See, 1600s do make mistakes, guys. As does everybody. Okay. So this b pawn now is guarding both of these. This is okay. If he pushes there, that's a discovered. There, here, here I have. Also that. Okay. Okay, if I push, he's got king here. That prevents my king from coming in. So what do I need to do? Do I need to come after this pawn? Something like this, isn't it? He's got one extra pawn now, and I have an extra bishop, which should be useful in the ending. Okay. What's the idea there? I come here now. See, the bishop and the pawn are working like two pawns to create quite a force field there. Now, is his plan to come there? If I've got king, I'm thinking here. And I'm threatening to capture on d4 now, at which point these are at my mercy. And again, it's all about, you know, negative space. It's all about the squares where the opponent's pieces can't go, really. So I'm not worried about pawn e6, e7, because I can just grab it with the rook. I'm still defending b7. If here either of these pawns moves, I just trade off my b pawn. Okay. Now my feeling is I can just capture here. Also leaves my king quite safe. I'm threatening this. I've got that. I also have this if needed, covering e7. I know that this is one of the weaker areas of my game, though, is the end game stuff. If he pushes here, I think I can just take with the pawn. Hang on, so I've got covered there. Rook on the back rank would actually be checkmate in this instance. Here, therefore, he can't take the pawn because I'm threatening mate, right? Now, but if I take that pawn, he takes. Can I defend against promotion? Takes. Okay, this is very interesting. If I take with there, he has to take me. Because that's checkmate. Right? There he takes. I recapture. 1, 2, 3 jumps off. He moves there. I can bring my bishop there if takes, 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 right? But the problem is then I can't cover that square as well. So I can't cover both of these two squares with my bishop. Takes, rook takes. I come here, attacking both of the... No, I don't know. Take with the pawn. He can't take with the rook. Takes. I'm just not confident that I can stop that pawn. There, takes. He pushes, and my king is outside of the square, far too outside of the square. But I've got to do so. I think I have to take with the pawn. I can't see any other way around it. He's not going to take with this because that and bang, and these pawns are just too far away. Okay, there he goes. If I push, he's going to do this, right? There. If I go here, I'm threatening mate, right? So here, he can't move the king. Hang on. The king can't go there or there because of my bishop and my pawn. So his king has to go here. So I'm currently defending both of these pawns. Okay, his king goes there. And now that is... Okay, that's check, but he's got this or this. Whew. Here? Hang on. Here, he pushes his pawn. I take. No. Here, I'm attacking the rook. He can't push his pawn because I just take it. King here. Rook's going to have to move. Can't take the pawn. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Is it that? I think I screwed up there. I considered it, but I considered it after I made the move, which isn't the ideal time and place. If I take, I can't... Oh, I can. My bishop's stopping this one. Hang on. Take. My bishop stops that, but then how does my king get to stop this one without interrupting the bishop? Ah! Takes. This one's covered, okay? Because now the promotion square is on a dark square. Take. Shut up, cockerel. And yeah, I can drop my bishop in there, but I can't then defend both things. Hang on. Take. Bishop d6. Got 2 minutes as well. Take. Bishop d6 prevents both. Bishop d6. Then he pushes this and I do that and then he promotes, right? So that's not workable. I've got pawn to here, he comes here, I come in there with check. It's a bit desperate. It's a bit desperate. See, if I can get my rook on the back rank, I might be able to promote. Now here, check. He takes the bishop, I get a queen. And he's still a move away. Wow. Chess, guys. Okay, I get a queen. You take a rook. Okay. Now I have a quite good feeling. What I need to do is eliminate these pawns. If we can eliminate those pawns, we are okay. And this wins 1, right? Even if I trade my queen for the other one, we might be alright. So that's... Do I take this now? He comes here. I come there. He goes there. I've always got checks, though. I could probably even force a draw with checks. Now, what I want to do is I want to win the rook. If I come in here, he plays rook b8. I come there. I haven't got time to move any pawns because then he promotes. So I think we might have to force the draw. But I don't know if this is a winning position. This is the thing that is confusing me. I'm just going to build up a little bit of time here with some checks, right? No, I want to figure this out. It feels drawish. If I come there, he plays rook b8. I can't take, but I can come here. And I think king and 2 connected pawns, I should be able to win. But let's figure it out, because win or lose, it doesn't really matter, right? He can't promote now. And he can't play his rook there either, actually. I come here, I attack the rook. I'm kind of threatening to move the pawns out of the way, get my king to c6. What a game. And to think it was looking very cloudy and dull for a while. Okay, king here hits the rook. He's out of checks. He can't promote the pawn. I can even start pushing these guys up. His rook has to stay on 7th. There's no question about it. And his king can't currently get round to help the pawn. I mean, if he does, it's a very long way. Now the pawn hangs. He has another check. I can go here and here. Pawn still hangs. Alright, do I take the pawn? Yes, I take the pawn. I can actually sacrifice my queen. Okay, so, wow. Hey, Yemen Viking. Been watching and guessing. Yemen Viking from Israel, go figure. Okay, and it is minus 31. Wow. Now what I'm interested in is that endgame, really. But let's have a quick look at the overall game, because I didn't feel like I was doing well. But here, oh, hang on. So there was a blunder by my opponent. Okay, that's... Oh, is it just this? G5. BE6 is a miss. Pfft. Attack that. This bishop was in a pin. Okay. But I missed it. So, load of dubious play. Slightest advantage here for white. And that's a miss. Going to threaten the bishop. Okay. But then this is a blunder. This loses a bishop, because now I found G5. Okay, so I did find it, but it was a different pin. It wasn't the bishop there, it's the rook there. And now I've got a winning position. Try and trade off the queens. I mean, we could go over this in detail, but I just don't feel like it right now. Yeah, and we're doing well. Well, I didn't realise it was one, but it felt like, it was worth persevering, Oh! And there is a forced checkmate. Here. Okay, let's show me. Oh, the pawn. Wow. Wow. Okay, but this is what happened. Again. Oh, so that wasn't ideal. What was best? Okay, king goes there, but then I should have pushed the pawn, right? Yeah. I just didn't see it. I didn't figure it out. Pushing the pawn, and the king has to defend that square. I just forgot about the risk of promotion. Now I do this. Now he goes here. That is good. Excellent move. What's the best move here? Oh. Even if the king takes there, I promote. But we promoted here. Okay, now it's -6, so I should be good. He takes. Best move there was. Okay, different check. And then threatening to go into A8. A8's a good square. Wow, didn't think about that. Getting the queen in here means the rook can never go to B8. Still winning, winning, winning. Queen A4 is best. Oh, we both played 1300, man. Okay. Both played 1300. But yeah, best move. And then, yeah, it's kind of a formality. Queen A6, there we go. Yeah, pushing the pawn. And the rest is history. So, lots of fun. Lots of fun, all the fun of the fair. But, yeah, definitely a grinder in the middle. Look at that. Really not more than one pawn difference at any time through that whole opening into the middle game. But you've got to be awake for these blunders. My opponent played 2, right, with this pinned bishop, right, and here, and I should have picked up on that, and that's what you've got to do. And the more you progress through chess, the rarer these mistakes and blunders are going to be, but they will still be there, right? So we've really got to give ourselves enough time to pause and reflect. But if you spotted that and I missed it, well done on you. Otherwise, hope you've enjoyed watching the game. It's quite a satisfying win in the end. So thanks for watching. See you later.